When you think of the Big Easy, you always think about parties and drinking and fun, but there's something else about New Orleans that lurks kind of in the deep corners of the city and in the history, and that is New Orleans voodoo. So the video that you just watched was actually a depiction of what a voodoo ceremony would look like. Understanding voodoo is important because it is a religion and a way of life and has a very rich history, and it needs to be preserved. So according to GoNola.com, one of the things for which New Orleans is best known for is the religion of voodoo. Voodoo has been popularized and commercialized in the past century, but still voodoo's roots in New Orleans are deep, and voodoo priests and priestesses still practice the religion as it came to the city from Africa and from the islands. Voodoo is deep rooted into the city of New Orleans and the people there and everything that they do. Although it's not widely practiced anymore, it still exists. To understand what voodoo is, one must first understand its history. First, I'd like to help you gain a better understanding of what voodoo is, and then I'd like to tell you about Marie Laveau and how she helped spread the religion. Thanks to what Study.com called a combination of deliberate racist distortion and Hollywood sensationalism, voodoo has become associated with devil worship, evil curses, voodoo dolls, and zombies. Yes, Hollywood has given voodoo a bad name, but according to Marie Laveau's House of Voodoo, the core beliefs of Louisiana voodoo include the recognition of one God who does not interfere in people's daily life, but spirits that preside over daily life. Spiritual forces, which can be kind of mischievous, shape daily life through and intercede in the lives of their followers. An article from HuffPost stated that those who practice voodoo believe that there is a visible and invisible world, and that these worlds are intertwined. Death is a transition into the invisible world, so our predecessors are still with us in spirit. They watch over us and inspire us. New Orleans voodoo is much like any other religion, with the exception of sacrifices, which other religions do have. Voodoo even encompasses a lot of Christian and Catholic beliefs. Now that you're a little bit more informed about what New Orleans voodoo is and the history of it, I can tell you about the voodoo queen of New Orleans, Marie Laveau. New Orleans played a big part of the slave trade and also was home to many free people of color. Not only that, but it was sort of a safe place for voodoo practitioners to practice their religion. Voodoo was allowed to be practiced in Congo Square, which is a famous area in New Orleans where there's a lot of rich history, especially because of voodoo and the ability for voodoo believers to practice. Anyone who has ever heard of voodoo would have heard of Marie Laveau. Marie Laveau is, like I said, considered the Queen of New Orleans, and today people still believe in her and what she did. So Marie Laveau was said to be a hairstylist, and she learned from her mother and other people who practiced voodoo, and then she became the Queen of Voodoo. So in an article from Allocation.com, the author tells how at the center of it all was the queen, leading chants, selling her cures, getting the latest gossip from the slaves, while outside the cheers and screams for Queen Marie could be heard far and wide. She is also well known and loved by thousands of people who flock to her tomb every year, myself included. Today I introduced you to the history of voodoo in New Orleans and to the voodoo queen, Marie Laveau, by first explaining what the religion was and then how it helped the people of New Orleans and who was helping. Voodoo plays an extremely important role in the history of Louisiana and New Orleans itself. Although it's a misunderstood religion, those who understand it know it is not evil or scary. Hopefully those who do not understand voodoo now have a smaller understanding and can also learn a little bit. Thanks.